Nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for what just exploded across the internet in the last 72 hours. Not Erika Kirk's millions of loyal defenders, not the political elite who stood shoulder to shoulder with her at charity galas, not even the inner circle who thought they knew every secret, every whisper, every carefully buried truth about the woman who appeared untouchable. The internet is shaking because someone who lived inside the fortress, someone who saw everything, heard everything, witnessed everything, just detonated a bomb so devastating that the shockwaves are tearing through every corner of social media, every political backroom, and every whispered conversation happening right now. We're talking about the nanny, the woman who raised Erika Kirk's children, the woman who traveled with the family, the woman who was there during the breakdowns, the screaming matches, the locked doors, and the moments when the polished facade shattered into a million pieces behind closed doors, and what she just revealed is darker, deeper, and more dangerous than anyone could have predicted. For years, people thought they understood Erika Kirk, the perfect political wife, the composed figure standing beside powerful men, the woman who smiled through controversies, navigated court dramas with grace, and presented a picture of domestic perfection to a watching world. But behind that polished facade, according to the woman who lived inside that world for years, was something entirely different, something terrifying, something that involved late-night emergencies, sudden disappearances, heated confrontations, and a level of paranoia so intense that staff members were forced to sign NDAs out of fear of what Erika might do, fear of who she was connected to, fear of the repercussions that came with knowing too much. The allegations aren't just shocking. They're not just explosive. They're world-ending. We're talking about emotional meltdowns, children caught in crossfire, thrown objects, shattered glass, locked rooms, and accusations of betrayal that flew without evidence. We're talking about a woman who the nanny claims was spiraling, unraveling, breaking under pressure that nobody on the outside could see. And now, with leaked messages, voice memos, screenshots, and photos that the nanny gathered as protection, not extortion, but survival, the truth is bleeding into public view. Stay right here because the truth is darker than anyone imagined. This isn't just about one family's private drama. This is about what happens when power, paranoia, and secrets collide, and what happens when the one person who saw it all decides she can't stay silent anymore. For years, people thought they understood Erika Kirk. They saw the perfectly curated Instagram posts, the elegant dresses at political fundraisers, the composed smile standing beside J.D. Kirk as he climbed the ladder of political power. The public saw a woman who had mastered the art of being the ideal political spouse, graceful under pressure, silent when necessary, and always presenting that flawless image of domestic harmony. Magazines featured her, influencers praised her style, critics grudgingly admitted she knew how to play the game. But behind that polished facade, behind those carefully orchestrated photo opportunities and scripted public appearances, the real story is something else entirely. The nanny, whose identity remains protected for now, but whose credibility is backed by years of employment records, travel documentation, and insider corroboration, wasn't just some part-time babysitter. She was the longest-serving member of the Kirk household staff. She lived with them. She traveled with them across state lines, to political events, to private retreats where the cameras weren't rolling and the public persona could be dropped. She was there during Erika's most turbulent periods, the public controversies that erupted in headlines, the court dramas that threatened to expose cracks in the foundation, the family disputes that never made it past the front door. And most disturbingly, she was there during moments of intense paranoia that insiders are now describing as red flags nobody wanted to acknowledge. But here's what people didn't see. Here's what the version the public consumed never showed. The staff turnover at the Kirk residence was brutal. Housekeepers lasted months, not years. Personal assistants came and went with alarming frequency, and every single one of them was bound by non-disclosure agreements so ironclad, so threatening in their legal language, that speaking out wasn't just risky, it was financial suicide. According to sources close to former employees, the fear wasn't just about breaching a contract. The fear was about what someone as connected as Erika Kirk could do to destroy a reputation, a career, a life. People who worked close saw things. Early warning signs that something wasn't right behind the mansion doors. Longtime insiders say there were patterns, mood swings that went from serene to catastrophic in minutes. Moments when Erika would be hosting guests with that signature grace, only to explode in private once the doors closed. The nanny describes witnessing Erika lashing out at family members over minor infractions, obsessing over online rumors and conspiracy theories about her past, spiraling into accusations of betrayal against people who had done nothing but remain loyal. The version the public sees is the edited version, the smiling photo ops, the charitable appearances, the carefully worded statements released through PR teams. But insiders noticed something different. They saw a woman under pressure that was building, pressure from JD's political ambitions, from media scrutiny that never stopped, from swirling rumors about hidden documents and affairs and secrets that kept threatening to surface. Cracks were there if you knew where to look. Deleted social media posts that briefly appeared then vanished. Public events where Erika's smile seemed strained, where her eyes didn't match the performance her mouth was giving. Close friends who suddenly weren't in family photos anymore. Former associates who went silent, their social connections to the Kirks severed without explanation. Something was brewing beneath the surface, and those who paid attention could feel the tension radiating outward like heat waves off burning asphalt. The real story is something else entirely. And according to the nanny who just stepped forward, what she witnessed wasn't just difficult, it was disturbing, it was dangerous. And it was about to reach a breaking point that would shatter everything. Then something happened that changed everything. The nanny, who had remained silent through years of chaos, through countless NDAs and legal threats, through moments that would have broken most people, finally reached her limit. And what pushed her over the edge wasn't a single explosive incident. It was a buildup of disturbing patterns that became impossible to ignore, impossible to rationalize, and impossible to stay silent about any longer. According to sources close to the situation, the nanny began documenting everything approximately 8 months ago. Not for extortion, not for a payday, but for self-protection. She started noticing that Erika's behavior was escalating beyond normal stress, beyond the pressures of political life, beyond anything that could be explained away as just a difficult period. The mood swings became more severe. One moment, Erika would be calm, discussing the children's schedules with measured professionalism. The next moment, triggered by a phone call, a news alert, a seemingly innocent question, she would transform into someone unrecognizable, screaming, pacing, ranting about betrayal, about people watching her, about conspiracies that made no sense to anyone listening. One insider revealed that the nanny witnessed heated arguments between Erika and JD that went beyond typical marital disputes. These weren't disagreements about finances or parenting styles. These were accusations flying like missiles. Erika screaming that JD was lying to her, that he was playing games, that he was involved in something he wouldn't tell her about. JD slamming doors, disappearing for hours, returning with that politician's smile plastered back on his face like nothing had happened. Apologies that felt hollow, promises that things would calm down. But they never did. They only got worse. The nanny describes intervening during these episodes to protect the children, taking them to another part of the house, turning on cartoons at high volume to drown out the sounds of their parents destroying each other verbally behind closed doors, holding crying kids who asked why mommy and daddy were so angry, cleaning up after objects were thrown, picture frames, decorative vases, once even a laptop that Erika hurled across a room during a meltdown about leaked messages on social media. Twitter exploded multiple times with rumors about the Kirks, and each time, insiders say Erika spiraled deeper into paranoia. But this is where the story takes a dark turn. People close to the situation describe one particular incident that became the turning point for the nanny, the moment she decided that staying silent was more dangerous than speaking out. It happened late at night, approximately 4 months ago. The children were asleep. The nanny was in her quarters preparing for bed when she heard screaming from the main floor. Not arguing, screaming. Erika's voice, but unhinged, incoherent, terrifying. The nanny rushed to the children's rooms and locked herself inside with both kids as the screaming intensified. According to leaked messages now circulating on burner accounts, Erika pounded on the locked door for nearly 20 minutes. The nanny recorded audio on her phone, audio that insiders say exists but hasn't been fully released yet. On the recording, Erika allegedly screams accusations that make no sense. Accusations about the nanny betraying her, about the nanny working with them, about the nanny being part of a conspiracy to destroy the family. The children were terrified. The nanny was terrified. And when JD finally arrived home, where he'd been, nobody knows, the screaming stopped abruptly, replaced by an eerie silence that somehow felt worse. The next morning, Erika acted like nothing had happened, smiled at breakfast, asked about the children's day, made small talk about groceries. But the nanny saw something in Erika's eyes that chilled her to the bone. Not remorse, not embarrassment, but suspicion. Like Erika was studying her, analyzing her, trying to determine if the nanny had recorded anything, if she'd told anyone, if she'd become a threat. Reddit devolved into madness when the first hints of this incident leaked through anonymous posts. TikTok creators went feral, building timelines, analyzing every public appearance Erika made during that period, looking for signs of the breakdown happening behind closed doors. One burner account appeared out of nowhere posting, "The nanny knows everything, and she has proof." But this is where the story takes a dark turn that nobody saw coming. Nobody was prepared for what happened next. The nanny didn't just come forward with stories. She didn't just share allegations that could be dismissed as hearsay or exaggeration. She came with receipts, hard evidence, screenshots, voice memos, photos, a digital arsenal that she'd been quietly accumulating for months, stored in encrypted cloud drives, backed up in multiple locations, protected by legal counsel who understood exactly what kind of firestorm was about to ignite. The first leak dropped on a Thursday night, a screenshot of a text message sent from Erika's phone to the nanny at 2:47 a.m. The message read, "I can't trust anyone, not even you sometimes. Don't leave the house without telling me. Don't talk to anyone." The timestamp was verified. The phone number matched. Metadata analysis confirmed authenticity. But it was the attachment that made the internet stop breathing, a 14-second voice note that accompanied the text. Fans screamed when audio analysts enhanced the recording and confirmed it was Erika's voice. Frantic, breathless, whispering urgently, "If you slip up, if you say anything to anyone, everything falls apart. Everything JD's worked for, everything we've built, they're looking for a reason." The background noise on the recording suggested she was hiding somewhere, possibly a closet or bathroom, speaking in hushed tones like she feared being overheard in her own home. Creators collapsed on live streams trying to analyze what "we're being watched" meant. Who was watching? Why was Erika paranoid at 3 a.m? What had happened that night that triggered this level of fear? The internet lost its mind. Twitter couldn't handle the traffic. The original post got 127,000 retweets in 90 minutes. TikTok videos analyzing the audio hit millions of views within hours. Reddit threads exploded with theories ranging from political espionage to domestic abuse to something far more sinister involving JD's political connections. Then came the second leak, another screenshot. This one a message from Erika sent 3 days after the first. "Don't let JD talk to the kids today." Another message below it, sent just 2 hours later. "If anyone finds out about last night, we're finished. Do you understand me?" According to sources, this exchange happened right after a particularly violent argument. But the nanny included something else with these screenshots. A blurred photograph taken from inside the Kirk residence. The image shows broken glass on expensive marble flooring, a overturned chair, and in the corner of the frame, barely visible but undeniably there, a woman's hand gripping the edge of a countertop. The skin tone matches Erika's. The distinctive ring on her finger, the one she wears in every public photo, is clearly visible. And if you look closely at the blurred reflection in the window behind her, you can see she's crying. The moment this leaked, the entire internet imploded. People weren't just shocked anymore. They were terrified. Terrified of what they were witnessing. Terrified of what was happening behind those mansion doors. Terrified of how dark this rabbit hole actually went. And what was in it will shock you to your core. The moment this leaked, the entire internet imploded. We're not talking about a viral moment. We're not talking about trending hashtags that fade after a news cycle. We're talking about a complete and total meltdown across every single social media platform simultaneously. The infrastructure of online discourse couldn't handle the weight of what was unfolding. Servers crashed, timelines froze, and millions of people watched in real time as the carefully constructed image of Erika Kirk disintegrated before their eyes. Twitter exploded with reactions that ranged from shock to horror to morbid fascination. One tweet went viral instantly, racking up 89,000 likes in under an hour. I defended Erika Kirk for years. I called her critics misogynists. I said she was unfairly targeted. Another user posted, "The way she texted 'we're being watched' at 3 a.m. tells me this isn't paranoia. Something happened. Something real." The quote tweets multiplied exponentially. Political journalists started weighing in. Entertainment reporters scrambled to get statements. Celebrity gossip accounts that normally focused on red carpet drama suddenly found themselves covering what felt like a legitimate scandal with criminal implications. TikTok creators went absolutely feral. Within 6 hours of the leak, investigative content creators had built frame-by-frame analyses of the blurred photo. 3 million views enhanced the image quality and identified specific furniture pieces that matched photos from Erika's verified Instagram posts, proving the photo was taken inside the Kirk residence. Another creator pulled up every public appearance Erika made during the time frame of the leaked messages, documenting a 3-day period where she vanished completely from social media, unprecedented for someone who posted daily. Users broke down timelines with forensic precision, cross-referencing the nanny's leaked evidence with publicly available information, building a narrative that was simultaneously speculative and disturbingly plausible. Reddit built entire investigation threads that stretched thousands of comments deep. The main megathread on the drama subreddit hit 47,000 upvotes and had to be locked and reopened multiple times due to brigading. Users created spreadsheets. They archived every deleted post from Erika's social media history. They tracked JD's political schedule during the dates in question, noting mysterious gaps and canceled appearances that had never been explained. One Redditor claimed to be a former staffer, unverified but detailed, who posted, "I worked in that house for 7 months. The NDAs we signed were 40 pages long. I saw things I can't legally talk about. But what the nanny is revealing, that's the tip of the iceberg." Instagram influencers who had previously collaborated with Erika started panic deleting old posts. Brand partnerships evaporated overnight. One lifestyle blogger who'd done a home tour of the Kirk residence 2 years ago posted a tearful apology video. "I had no idea. I walked through that house. I smiled in those rooms. And now knowing what might have been happening there?" The video got 890,000 views before she deleted her entire account. Creators started pulling screenshots of old interviews where Erika had talked about her perfect family life, juxtaposing them against the leaked messages. The contrast was devastating. In one interview from 8 months ago, Erika had said, "Our home is our sanctuary." Celebrity responses ranged from carefully worded non-statements to complete radio silence. Political allies of JD Kirk went dark on social media. Nobody wanted to be associated with the implosion happening in real time, but the real bombshell was still coming. And nobody, absolutely nobody, was ready for what the nanny revealed next. As if the world wasn't already on fire, as if the internet wasn't already tearing itself apart trying to process leaked messages and broken glass and 3 a.m. paranoia, the nanny dropped something that shifted the entire narrative into territory nobody had anticipated. This wasn't just about emotional chaos anymore. This wasn't just about a woman struggling under the pressure of political life or a marriage falling apart behind closed doors. This was about something else, something hidden, something that Erika Kirk had been desperately trying to keep buried, and the paranoia, the breakdowns, the accusations, they weren't symptoms of instability. They were symptoms of guilt. The new leak came in the form of a voice memo, not a frantic whisper recorded at 3 a.m., not a panicked message sent during a meltdown. This was Erika speaking in a measured, almost eerily calm voice, recorded during what the nanny describes as a confessional moment after a particularly brutal argument with JD. The audio timestamp shows it was recorded 4 months ago, and the nanny claims Erika didn't know she was being recorded. The phone had been left on a kitchen counter, audio app still running from an earlier legitimate recording session. On the recording, Erika's voice is chilling in its composure. "If they find out what I did, everything JD said will turn against me. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I didn't realize who was involved until it was too late." Gyaka pause. The sound of liquid being poured, presumably wine or something stronger. Then, "The worst part is knowing that if this comes out, it's not just me, it's all of them." People didn't realize this wasn't about Erika being victimized. According to insiders who've analyzed the new evidence, the paranoia about being watched, the fear about things being discovered, the desperate messages about keeping secrets, these weren't the behaviors of someone afraid of external threats. These were the behaviors of someone who had done something, participated in something, become entangled in something that she now couldn't escape. This wasn't just about X, it was about Y. The meltdowns weren't random, they were triggered. Specific news cycles, specific names appearing in headlines, specific dates that corresponded with events the public didn't know about yet. Users broke down timelines with obsessive detail. One Twitter thread went mega viral, connecting Erika's public disappearances with unexplained gaps in JD's political schedule. 3 separate occasions over the past 18 months, where both of them vanished from public view for 48 to 72 hours with no explanation. Staff was dismissed, social media went silent, and when they re-emerged, both looked strained, exhausted, like they'd been through something traumatic that couldn't be discussed. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. A second insider stepped forward, not publicly, but through encrypted messages shared with trusted journalists who've been covering the story. This person, described only as someone who worked closely with JD's political operation, claimed that Erika's paranoia intensified dramatically after a specific meeting that took place 2 months ago. A meeting with someone powerful. People close to the situation started dropping hints on burner accounts. Cryptic messages appeared on Twitter. The connection isn't who you think it is. Another post. Erika isn't the villain in this story. She's a player in someone else's game. Reddit investigators went into overdrive, cross-referencing known associates, political donors, business partners, anyone in JD's orbit who wielded enough power to terrify someone like Erika Kirk. But the most disturbing revelation came from the nanny herself in a follow-up leak. She revealed that Erika kept a locked drawer in her private office, a drawer that staff was explicitly forbidden from touching under threat of immediate termination. The nanny had only seen inside it once, accidentally, when Erika had left it open during a particularly chaotic morning. Inside were documents, stacks of printed emails, handwritten notes, a USB drive, and surveillance photographs of people the nanny didn't recognize. Another document appeared to be some kind of list, names, dates, locations. The version people thought they understood, Erika as the unstable political wife, was completely wrong. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. The USB drive wasn't just random, it had a label, a name. And according to sources, that name is about to break the internet. Everything you thought you knew was wrong. The USB drive, the surveillance photos, the locked drawer that Erika guarded like her life depended on it, because according to insiders who are now whispering through encrypted channels and burner accounts, her life did depend on it. The name on that USB drive isn't just anyone. It's not a random political operative or a disgruntled former staffer. According to sources close to the investigation that's now quietly happening behind the scenes, the name belongs to someone untouchable. Someone so deeply connected to political power structures, to influence networks, to the machinery that runs behind the scenes of everything the public sees, that even mentioning it sends shockwaves through circles most people don't even know exist. The nanny's final revelation, the one that has journalists scrambling, lawyers filing emergency motions, and entire social media platforms teetering on the edge of unprecedented chaos, is this: Erika wasn't the aggressor. She was building a shield. The surveillance wasn't her spying on others. It was her documenting who was watching her. The paranoia about being followed, about phones being tapped, about people betraying her, it wasn't mental instability, it was survival instinct. Because someone powerful, someone with resources that dwarf anything JD Kirk's political career could access, had made Erika Kirk a target. And she knew it. Fans were crying in comments when this narrative flip emerged. Creators who'd spent weeks dragging Erika for her behavior started posting apology videos. We got it wrong, she wasn't falling apart. The truth broke everyone who'd been following this story from the beginning. The question was, what did she find out? This changes everything. The implications ripple outward like cracks in fractured glass. If Erika has evidence, real, documented, time-stamped evidence, of surveillance, of coordination, of activities that powerful figures desperately need to keep hidden, then the breakdown, the screaming, the locked rooms with her children weren't symptoms of paranoia. They were symptoms of someone who knew she was in danger and didn't know who to trust. Nothing will be the same, not for the Kirk family, not for the political networks they're connected to, not for anyone whose name might be in that drawer, on those documents, attached to that USB drive. And now we're standing at the edge of the biggest moment in this entire saga. Because according to the most recent leak, dropped just hours ago, someone tried to break into the Kirk residence 3 nights ago. Erika wasn't home. The children weren't home. But the locked drawer, someone knew exactly where to look. This story isn't over. It's accelerating. Every day brings new leaks. Every hour brings new theories. Every minute brings us closer to the moment when that name drops and everything changes forever. But right now, right here, I need to know your take. I need to know what you think. I need to know who you believe is on that USB drive. Drop your answer in the comments. Tell me who you think has enough power to terrify Erika Kirk into building a surveillance vault. Tell me who you think confronted her that night. Tell me who you think is about to fall when this truth finally comes out. Hit the like button if you've been glued to every single twist in this scandal. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss the moment when the next bombshell drops. Because trust me, this is far from over. Turn on notifications right now so you're the first to know when that name leaks, when Erika finally speaks, when the nanny releases the rest of her evidence. And here's the final question, the question keeping millions of people awake tonight, the question that will define how this entire scandal unfolds. When that USB finally goes public, when those surveillance files leak, when the truth about what Erika witnessed finally comes out, who falls first? The person on the USB? Erika herself? Everyone connected to this web of secrets? Comment your answer below. Let me know who you think survives this and who gets destroyed. Because the second that name drops, this entire universe burns, and you don't want to miss what happens next.